All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the Arcane Gate. I am Denaru.
And I'm Charles Walker, FallMonkey20, and tonight we are joined by Kevin, Snipereye2010, is that right?
That's correct.
Awesome, didn't rehearse that. Now Sniper Eyes, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a streamer here on Twitch.tv under the same handle, Snipereye2010. I love to mainly play first-person, third-person shooters. Like here lately, we do War Game Wednesdays on Battlefield 5. We love to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I love to be able to play with other people, and here recently found a good saying we're going to use for the channel. Since I love to play with other people, the squad that communicates is a squad that dominates. So that's kind of been the theme of the channel. And I also am part of the Hobo Slayers podcast, which we play Dungeons and Dragons every 2 weeks on their channel. So.
Yes, so some of y'all may recognize him that he plays the game with previous guests of ours, Dan's Extremes and Palace. He is the great and powerful bard of that group.
Yeah, I don't know about so great here recently with the last session, how that went.
Nah, it's fine. I mean, I don't know. In D&D, I think it takes a lot to truly mess up D&D and do it wrong. Because it's such a crazy game already.
Yeah, you're not lying there.
Yeah. Which I feel like goes into it, that you are a very roleplay heavy person, and that was going to be the main topic of this game session is roleplay, so... Mortanis and Chastain, what exactly do you mean there?
Oh, are you talking about me, Mortanis? Talking about how I got knocked down a few pegs with what happened to my character, or something else?
I have been made aware of the Swine King incident, so I am pretty interested in that. But yeah, so this we're going to talk about roleplay. Down a few pegs, you're a king. That's a huge game.
Depends on how you look at it, but okay.
I guess in the roleplay aspect, Brad in the chat's asking, he is not aware of the Swine King incident, so I guess that's what we're going to start with.
Yeah, definitely share like that
If
story.
you're okay with telling that.
I'm fine telling it. All right, so as a bard, I make it where my character loves to drink. So we got to a tavern. I can't remember the name of the city offhand, but it's like the capital of the area we're in. So we got this tavern, real high end. You know, it's like a whole bunch of rich, snobby people were there, but they're supposed to be the best drink there. And our party member Vice, who's played by Danzig, asked for the best drink they had, and it was this drink called Snake Venom. So we took 2 shots of it. Second Constitution check, only rolled a 11. Later that night, I had my character try to get with the elf maiden there, or he called it snake juice. I thought we called it snake venom, Mortanis. I thought that was the final name. Well, regardless, it's snake something. And apparently, midway through having fun with this maiden, my character apparently got drunk. Keep in mind, this is not my decision. This is all things that he filled me in on after, because it's not like, oh, this is my decision. This is what I'm gonna do after getting drunk.
I feel like you accept this role when you pick Bard.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, long story short, he got arrested for running through the streets naked, crying that he was going to overthrow the government, and trying to raise an army of pigs to overthrow the government with.
And that is how you became Swine King.
Yep.
The sequel to the Tiger King, the Swine King.
Yeah, it's like, I don't need no tigers to get rid of you. I'll just use the pigs.
Yep. And Mortanis, totally awesome, sweet Alabama liquid snake. I have not had that, but it sounds awesome. But yeah, so you and from what anyone who has seen the Hobo Slayers D&D game has seen, you are someone who really gets into your character, so I imagine that was a great thing to watch.
A wee bit.
Yeah. That was honestly one of my first expectations when I was watching the stream, when I saw you playing, and I was thinking of the person you are, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great, I bet. Then you kick down the door, I'm like, yeah, that is exactly what I expected.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
he's
you're
playing
talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
Is it? Just thinking, you are a really tactical person, I've noticed. So you playing a bard, I was just like, oh, that'll be interesting since, you don't have to play a bard that way, but as the usual avenue of the really charismatic talk their way through things. So it's like, I wonder how Kevin's gonna do that. Then he kicks down the door. I'm like, oh, he's a Valor bard. That's what he is.
Yep, College of Valor. Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the incident where we dealt with the quote-unquote geek / wizard who tried to bluff his way through everything.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
Ortanis also said I only went with something like that because I know he'd roll with the punches.
He's right. I don't linger on things too bad like that. Like, it's a game. It's meant to be something that's not me. Get me out of my own head, and that's why I enjoy it more than anything. Because I will roll the punches. I'll turn into a big joke, and I'll have fun with it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the day, you're just having fun with it, and that really is a big part of role playing to me. That I feel like a lot of people miss that grasp is just have fun with it. Like, even if you feel silly while doing it, as long as everyone's having fun at the table, I mean, that's what really matters.
Exactly. I've here lately, any character I play, I don't go with my normal voice. I try to choose like a fun little accent that I could try to mimic. So that's part of the reason why, is because it's not me that's in the game; it's someone else. So
Right.
And that's a perfect way to say it too. Is like it's someone else, and you're acting a different character, and you're telling a story. That's pretty much it.
yep,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, well, usually, yeah, you got any tips for that in particular, Treywick, just to pick your theater brain a bit? Because I feel like that's something people struggle with when it comes to roleplay, is they have trouble initially getting that idea of not thinking how they would and think how someone in this position would.
So, definitely, like, starting out, if you're making a character and you're thinking it based off of, like, inspiration, like a different character that you already know, thinking about their intentions, how they would react, is a good strategy to go with, because then you already have guidelines. And so, if it's something that you wouldn't do, but that character would do, I know we hear that a lot, that's what my character would do, but that's what you kind of have to do, is think of what they would do realistically. Not what you want to do. And,
Yeah.
you know, tweak it to where it's the character's intentions. No, like, think that you are puppeteering this character to do what they desire.
Right.
Then eventually you get to where you make your own characters and find out what they want.
Yeah, because I know, because to me that's always the part that I hear people say is they have the hesitation of they don't know really how to do it, because that's the most common thing I hear is people to just start playing. They won't just do something like, well, what could I do in this situation? What would I do? Instead of just going with the initial try and gut reaction of like, okay, I'm this hardened criminal in this rough situation. What would I do? Instead of me, the college student who just picked up D&D for the first time, what would I do?
Oh yeah, and like bards are also kind of interesting, because there is that stigma of like what most bards do. So I kind of
You haven't
said,
seduced anyone yet, so I'm proud of you.
oh, my character's asexual. Yep,
Is that canon now or what?
that has been canon.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, so I have set guidelines for my character that I haven't even said anything. Like, for instance, saying, oh, he's asexual or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I'm the DM.
Yeah, that was strictly because, like, I'm not going to seduce anybody. And that's going to be my guideline, is why he has no desire to. But my character is very prominent with flattery. And we use flattery to get what he wants, or at least what is expected to get the better result. So, in our campaign, in our last town, my character acted like a civilized, well-deserved citizen, you know? Like, he tried to butter up the town guard captain and make him think that he was a straight good citizen. Whether my character is or not, we'll see. But my character knew, it's like, this is how he's going to get what he wants. And I play him that way.
That's fair. That's fair. Also, Subspace Gunty, thank you for the follow. Okay. And yeah, and I appreciate that, because I will say I'm guilty of it. I make them jokes as well, running a D&D meme page, and those are some of the most liked pictures I ever make. I make a joke about bards seducing people, it will just be a flood of likes. It's something I've learned making D&D memes. You make a joke about bards seducing people, make a joke about barbarians being dumb, and make a joke about the fireball. That's the holy trinity of D&D memes. Those are guaranteed to at least get some clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been guilty of that, but sometimes I feel like people lean too much on the bard seducing factor like it's a crutch and don't see the other things they can do. Like, bards are one of the most diverse casters in the sense they can be strength build like yours. And kick indoors. Like, it's kind of refreshing to see your bard. Like,
Yeah, the funniest thing I remember playing as this bard is because he's got such high strength. There was one incident we were dealing with creatures that were just swarming us. One of our party went down and was about to be attacked by the same creature, which I know means it's going to be an instant like fail on a death save. I had no throwing weapons other than a dagger, but I didn't want to throw it. And I was like, what can I throw? And I remember the wizard that conjured him, I'd already knocked him out. And I asked our DM Mortanus, I was like, hey, can I throw this guy? And he's like,
yeah, I remember.
yes. He's like, you're going to have to roll a strength check. And I think he said a acrobatics check. And they both rolled good, so I ended up throwing the guy 30 feet into the creature, and it then became that my bard is the guy who likes to yeet people into other people.
That'll work.
And that's another thing great about like role-playing wise is a lot of the times how your character would react will just kind of be built as you're playing.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a cool thing entirely, is sometimes discovering the character as you go along as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that's
also that works really well for you, because that's one thing that's guaranteed: no matter what bard you play, they will be good at skills.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I've been doing is gradually building more and more. Like this whole Swan King thing, I definitely am going to build on it. I just don't know how just yet. I may even try to make it as a joke eventually when we go up to a tavern or something, like, "Aye, you never heard of me. I'd be the king of swine."
I just came up with something dumb, but I love. At level 10, bards can pick spells from any spell tree. You could pick the conjure a beast spell and summon pigs.
Oh my god, yes! That would be amazing!
Mortanus, I'm sorry.
And Mortanus, if you're watching, guess what? He is about to be a king of swine, and they are going to be able to overthrow a government.
Did that in... Or polymorph. I think bards get polymorph naturally, where they can transform things into animals, but I don't know if there's even stat block for a pig or a giant pig.
Oh.
Because that'd be crazy. I think you could do a boar, though. Just come out like the freaking pigs from Bloodborne, though. That'd be crazy.
Hey, if it works,
Pig
it works,
NATO,
right?
level 6 conjuration. Summon 44 pigs.
Yes.
Oh.
Heard that's a joke in my Discord of someone, it was really cool, and I want to make it someday. What they did was they glued a bunch of cotton balls to a base and puffed them all out into a big funnel cloud. Then they hot glued a bunch of sharks into it and made a Sharknado figure for D&D.
Oh, Lord, that would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, it it's just there's a lot of things that I love that it's just in real life. It's like, oh, so silly. It's you couldn't do that, but in D&D you technically could because just cast tornado and summon the beast inside of it.
There is a giant boar.
There is a giant boar. Oh god.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, because polymorph, you can transform other things into animals, but you can transform yourself into an animal as well.
That would be interesting. Would that then be the King of Swine, or would I be called Beast Boy at that point if I did it to myself?
Depends on if you're green or not.
Good point.
Yeah, I'd say a giant boar, that's worthy a King of Swine title.
Yeah, and boars are no joke either, man. Them things can be really vicious. So.
Yeah, we had a few loose around where I lived for a while. That was fun stuff. Yeah, they had a pig hunt shortly after. It was tasty.
There you go. That's the best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, just I had to walk through the woods to get off my bus, and I was walking through there. There was like giant patches of ground that were just tore up all the way through it, and I was like, "Hey, Mom, saw something weird. It looks like the armadillos are going crazy out there." And she was like, "Oh no, it got this close." I'm like, "What?" And apparently, someone on a deer hunting property let loose a bunch of wild hogs from, I think they caught them in Tennessee or something like that. And they just set them loose to go hunt them, and they didn't get them all. So, woo. The cockroaches of nature have been unleashed.
Release the boars.
Y'all remember that? That was a really obscure meme for a while. 30 to 50 wild boars coming to kill my family.
Oh man, I mean, imagine that would be quite the story to go around telling people.
It was just it was an argument for like why would anyone need an assault rifle, and someone's exact response was like, what would you do if 30 to 50 boars came charging at your children and playing in the backyard? And it's a valid point if you live there, but still out of context, it's a really funny reply.
Oh yeah.
Of just 30 to 50 boars waiting outside your yard at every hour of the day.
Someone in New York City is just like sees 30 to 50 boars charging in. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I was not prepared for this.
When nature's coming back, the boars are coming next.
Yeah, considering we got the tracker jackers from China already, or Japan. Yeah, that should be the next thing we see is the boars trying to overtake everything.
Yeah. Mortana said apparently that guy had actually dealt with that many boars before. It wasn't even a gotcha question. It literally happened. Yeah, honestly, it isn't even me like putting an input on the argument. I just thought the comment itself was funny, but I wouldn't doubt it because the wild hogs, they breed like rabbits and they're vicious. They're a serious danger.
Yeah, I would love to see how much trouble they could cause in D&D. That would be glorious, I feel like.
You get tired of running goblins against your party? Just run 30 to 50 wild hogs.
Giant boars are a challenge rating too.
Yeah, that's the same as a polar bear.
And regular boars, I think, was like a quarter.
Not even a full one, just a quarter.
So you could have a lot of boars because it's a party.
Yeah, you could summon 8 boars with that then, because I know a wolf's a quarter as well, and I remember I had a ranger that summoned 8 of them a lot. So I'm pretty sure that's how it works. You can summon 8 of them that are a quarter, like 2 that are 1, 4 that are a half, and 1 that's challenge rating 2. We defeated the Lich Lord of Mizamar, took down Aertharax, the Blight Dragon for the 9 Hells. Why are we losing to Boars?
Because the Swan King is in town. He wants a good drink, and he's going to get rid of anyone who gets in his way.
Thank you for that comment, Mortanis.
Yep.
I mean, pack tactics will mess something up, because that's literally what the Ranger did. They were fighting literal Baphomet, and he's like, and I'm like, okay, what do you do in your turn? I summon 8 wolves. And I'm like, and so there was just 8 wolves biting Baphomet's heels as he's fighting this, all this other crazy stuff.
Oh god, I just had a funny thought too. One of our party members, Vice, played by Zanzik, she is like a literal pyromancer. If the Boars died in battle, yeah, I call her the disciple of Lord Napalm, is what I call her. But if the Boars end up losing, it's like, hey, well, you know what? They lost. Well, at least now we got lunch.
I'm just going to have to watch the Hobo Slayer cast to see if it's just one episode of only fighting boars.
I'll definitely have to make it a reality now. That would be an epic way of doing it. The Bard who yeeted people as weapons, try to overthrow a government using boars and pigs, and now is the Swine King and uses them in battle. I think that would be one heck of a legend for a campaign.
There we go. It's a trailer. That'll have to be the name of this episode, Role-Playing in Boars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a fun way to play. In Pathfinder, I did a druid shape change into a bear with an awakened bear companion. Would start a fight with summon monster and conjuring forth a couple of bears.
Dang.
By Mortanis.
Wow.
Wow. That sounds very difficult. I had to.
Yep. But some of the best things also come out of like little jokes like that. Because
like the squirrels.
Yeah, like the squirrels.
Squirrels? Okay, I gotta hear the story behind this.
I feel like it's better if you tell it, Treywick, because I got my DM perspective of what I expected y'all to do, then here's like my expectation, here's y'all way over here.
Yep. So we're, our party's looking at the help wanted board, stuff like that. And one of the things was to investigate a horde of squirrels disturbing the area and like damaging property, stuff like that. So we go over, get the job, we investigate, see that it's like house is being attacked. So we decided to investigate the last house that was attacked. My character, who can talk his way into almost any situation, walked up and was like, hey, we are the squirrel experts. We are hired by the city to investigate. And we ended up talking our way into this innocent man's home. And he's confused. I'm just talking out of my butt at this point. And the rest of our party is just like, please don't arrest us. As he's telling us to get out of his house. And I'm just like, are you the expert here? No, you're not. And it just kept going.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just by the end, he wanted him out. Like, at first, he was like, oh, okay, you can inspect my house. And then just by the end, it's like, okay, get out.
Mm-hmm. It's like, alright, we got what we wanted.
Now, the real kicker to the story is what the squirrels led you to.
Oh, yeah. The squirrels actually led us to an underground black market.
What?
Yep. Somehow, we found out about the underground black market because we were hunting down squirrels.
Seems legit.
Yep.
So, in my side of it, in my peek behind the curtain, so what it was this guy was just staying down, hiding out in the black market. He himself wasn't really involved with it much, aside from just having a place to stay. And they went down there, resulted in destroying and dismantling the black market by taking out some of their higher-ups and causing a riot down there. And the person behind the entire ordeal escaped, and they still don't know who's actually behind the squirrel incident.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they stopped an entire black market.
Yeah. And stole a cart full of valuable ores and stuff like that from goblins because our... is it a blood hunter? Is that what he is?
Yeah, he's a blood hunter.
Yeah. Our blood hunter just had to turn into a wolf and steal the entire cart while we're being attacked.
Yeah. It was just... I couldn't stop him because that's what I said it was, but... Yeah, he's like, so he said the goblins, they had all the precious items in metal cages, right? I'm like, yeah, it's like, you say they're about goblins? I was like, yeah, they're fairly heavy. It's like, alright, I Hulk out in werewolf form. I take my chain out, run it through both the cages, and I charge out of there, dragging the cages behind me. And I'm like, yeah, you got me there. Because he was like, are they nailed down to anything? I'm like, no, and then I was like, oh, crap. And yeah, he's literally getting an opportunity to attack my goblins as he's running away, but he's taking all their stuff with him. And he got a +1 mace, a magic ring, like 5 ores of cold iron, and I think it was like 3 of mithril.
Yeah. It was a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just there for them to buy in case they wanted to, and he did that. I'm like, well, alright, that happened. But you succeeded.
Yeah, we couldn't afford the magic items, so we'll take
Might as
them.
well just take them, right?
Yeah, it was in the black market. It was already stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that as being a legitimate reason. It's like, oh, they're stolen. Well, you know what? Let's reclaim them for the greater good.
Yeah. We don't want them to have it.
Well, the paladin hasn't stopped you yet, so I guess you're good.
Yeah.
There was an old meme I saw that said, if the paladin's okay with it, it's okay with anyone.
And that's another thing is my character has been speaking like he's a good citizen. Because, you know, it's sort of like a smart, chaotic thing I'm doing.
Yeah. Are you saying you're not a good citizen?
I mean, I've been doing good citizen things. It's been
Should I call a
fun.
paladin in here?
I think what he's saying is good is dependent on the perspective of the viewer.
Yeah. And I mean, the outcome has been good, but it is because it's favored me some. And that's
Yeah, I
the
remember.
Honestly, I like how you've been playing Tyrant, so yeah.
Makes me remember an argument we had with Vice. It was basically we got brought in by the Prime Minister's magistrate, I think, for lack of a better term, and brought forth before a wizard to try to have a zone of truth put over us, pretty much, to figure out what was going on with the town mayor. We had literally dragged in, bound up. And when I started to tell a partial truth, Vice just lost it, came up, and spilled the whole beans about what happened. And midway through her spiel, the Prime Minister's guy was just like, okay, stop. That's enough. I got the gist of it. And I was like, see, because I was going a little crazy, it brought out Vice's better side.
Mhm.
There we go.
So that's why I've been playing that bard is. It's like, you know, he doesn't care if it's good or bad. If he's having fun at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And it's like, if you get in the way of that, well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep. But to get so onto the roleplay subject, that is something also I was wanting to ask. What is y'all's favorite characters to roleplay? Like, what kind of character archetype? Or do y'all like branching out every time?
I personally like branching out every time. I don't want to play any campaign the same way twice. Because
Okay.
I want it to be something that's unexpected. I want it to be something different every time, because if I wanted the same thing, I'd just go through life every day. Because I've got something the same to look forward to in life pretty much every day, despite me trying to get variety. Versus when I create a new character, that's my chance to create something new. It's like my first playthrough with another group I play with in real life. I play as a fighter who's a dual wielder. He has more of a Russian accent, which that right there alone is actually a pain to try to mimic, but I still do it. And then with this campaign, I was like, oh, you know, I never play as a bard. I want to do something a little more crazy and fun. Let's make a Scottish bard who loves to drink and he's also tough.
Alignment wise, I'm not really sure if I have a favorite. I guess I could say my favorite alignment would probably be chaotic neutral, but I also play chaotic neutrals a little differently than most people do. Because I see them as more of like, as a chaotic neutral, it's more of what they want at the time, but it's still, I still put what the character's wants are. I don't just decide right then and there. My character has things they like, things they don't like, and I follow that. But it really depends on the character itself more than anything, because I've played, you know, good characters, straight good characters that are heroic, but that was the character, and it was just fun to play. I think we lost you there.
Oh, here goes Discord again.
Yep. Let's see how. Yeah, we're all like all fractured right now.
Oh God.
Hey, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh yeah, y'all were going robotic for a bit, but I could still hear you. Hear you in the end. That's weird. Sorry about that.
Oh, like you just like was very quiet right before you cut out, and then just gone.
But anyways, yeah, I get you. What I was saying was I don't really go by alignments as much. I think they're handy, but what I like to do is, because I have a love-hate relationship with chaotic neutral, I feel like y'all are describing, I feel like y'all's are fine, but I feel like chaotic neutral can sometimes be the lazy choice if they don't have a solid idea what their character wants to do, and they'll just in the moment change their entire worldview. Like, had a character that literally wanted to enslave a bunch of goblins just because he felt like it in the moment, but was getting on to someone for trying to steal something a session ago.
Yeah. Definitely, like how I was mentioning, if you have your character like who they are and structure that, then you can make chaotic neutral logical and fun. And not just, like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah, and that's also why, remember that questionnaire I gave everybody before the campaign started of like just some basic things of what's their goal in life, what do they consider themselves a materialistic person, simplistic person, what they like to eat, stuff like that. Just random stuff that may not think means a whole lot in the long run, but I feel like it gets you more in the mind of the character and gets you more idea what this person's like, what they may do in this situation. Like, if they go in a bar, would they just have whatever's there? Would they actually seek something out? Like, just stuff to make them feel like they're more part of the world. Because I saw Joe Mangelo doing an interview on it, and I talk about him way too much, but it was just something interesting he said where they're interviewing about his character that was being put in Descent into Avernus, and he said he was ready for anything, because when he writes a character, he literally writes like nearly an entire notebook worth of stuff of just details about them and what they would do in any situation. So he's ready for any situation comes up. He can flip to a page's notebook and tell you exactly how they would respond in that moment. Like, apparently that's how much work he puts into his, and I thought that was a really cool idea.
Oh yeah, and you definitely want to know your characters, and that's kind of the main thing about role-playing as well, is you can't, I mean, You can act out however you want, but in terms of like the chaotic neutral, if you're just acting what you just blindly and what you feel like doing that day, your character's not going to have structure. Your character's just going to be an embodiment of what you feel like doing that day.
Yeah.
And that's just not as fun. It's not role playing. It's projecting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like it could be done as well as just as long as your character has like a clear structure and a code of morals at the least, or just what they would do and wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only time I really have trouble with it, like I was saying, was the guy that would he's doing something that's clearly wrong one day, but was getting onto the party for doing something wrong another day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and I hear on the
That I
structure
was kinda
because the reason I agree with the structure is there's that one character that I was talking about, the dual wielder. When I rolled the stats for him, he had a lower intelligence score, but he had a good wisdom score. So it's like he had good street smarts, but he couldn't really read because it's like subpar is like an 8 starting out. And he's always had that code of like, hey, if you're a bad guy, I'll definitely put you down if need be, but I'll give you that one chance to surrender. And I've built on that every time. It's like he's getting smarter about who to challenge, and he's actually physically gotten smarter because with the level ups, I put a little bit more into intelligence, and now he can kind of read, and that's been the running joke of that campaign, because it used to be, hey, what does this say, or what does that say? It's like he relies on the party members for it. But now it's getting to the point, it's like, yeah, she's been teaching me how to read.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like a goal's good for any character to have at the least. Just so if you get to the point where the campaign ends is just blankly, well, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it's just realistic for them to have some kind of goal they're working for.
Yeah. Another thing is if you're used to writing and you're thinking of writing characters, literally think about what this character would do and go on from there.
Yeah. And also, I realized I didn't answer my own question. If I had a favorite archetype, probably I do like the good playing good characters. I'll say that. I played some morally gray. I just don't really like playing strictly evil characters. I don't know what it is. When I'm DMing, I can play an evil character perfectly fine and not be faced by what. When role playing, I don't know. It's always felt weird to me. Like even playing games like GTA and stuff, I feel weird doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So generally, chaotic goods is my favorite kind to go with. Is the character that wants to do good but doesn't always go the necessary law way to do it. Because the one rogue I played was a vigilante.
Yeah. Chaotic good is a fun one, to be fair.
That's my personal favorite alignment.
Yeah, like I feel
That
like
maybe I was gonna say that maybe what my current character in my other campaign is, the fighter, because I've been compared for that one as a murder hobo because he wants to challenge everyone. But at the end of the day, he always has it to where he wants to do what's best for everyone in the room. But at the same time, it doesn't matter how he gets to that point. If a few people get hurt, well, if they're not dead, then okay, that's fine.
Daredevil.
Pretty much, yeah. And his background is as an urban bounty hunter, which the running joke for that one is when I first created him, the DM wanted me to go through just a quick one shot with another new player. So I kept the same character from that, but when I tried rolling perception to investigate where this one building was, I kept rolling low. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to use my perk as an urban bounty hunter to find a contact in a tavern. He's like, okay, roll to see if you can find the tavern. And I rolled a natural 20. And he's like, you literally put your nose up to the sky and you smell the alcohol and like, oh, the tavern's this way. And that has now happened so many times that he told me, okay, under your character traits, put that you can smell alcohol and have it vanish to find in tavern.
that's great.
Yeah,
Literal booze hound.
pretty much. And he's told me from now on, any campaigns I play in where he's DM, if I go to create a character, that perk has to be there on that character.
That's amazing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to me, chaotic good is kind of, that does fall in the line of it. Because to me, a murder hobo is someone who the shopkeeper doesn't give them a discount, they murder them and take everything in a shop.
See, he hasn't gone that far yet, but he did, however, steal a bunch of weapons. Yeah, the reason I say that is because one of the things I did that has turned into a famous moment in that campaign. We killed a group of goblins, and there's 2 giants with them. And I told the rest of the party, I was like, hey, give me a second. I'm going to cut the head off of one of these goblins. And they're like, why? And next thing they know, they see my character stuffing the head in his pack. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is so that the next group that tries to mess with us gets a warning. And they're like, you're going to carry the head the whole time? I'm like, yeah, why not? It serves as a good warning against evil, doesn't it?
That's actually a more good aligned thing than you would think.
Yeah.
Because you're creating a warning so you wouldn't have to kill more. And so you could morally state that that's a good act that you're doing. I like that.
Yeah, but the crazy thing it led to, that same head, we were in a cave and there was a deep chasm. And instead of dropping the torch, I was like, you know, I'm just going to put some oil in the head, light it on fire, and drop it. And that led to us befriending a Cyclops.
How?
So when I dropped the head, our DM said that me and one of the other party members that were split off and were investigating, all we saw was a large hand just slap up onto the edge of the cavern. And so we took a few steps back. Cyclops comes up, and our DM goes into character. He's like, did you drop this for me? I was like, no, not necessarily. He's like, oh, too bad. I like goblin meat. And I was like, if I get you more, can you help us out? And he was speaking in giant, so our other character, he didn't know what was going on. Our companion, he of course wasn't metagaming. He's like, wait, what's going on? Do I need to get ready to fight? I was like, no. Just follow me and follow my lead. And next thing you know, we're dragging 4 goblin bodies, and we hand them to the Cyclops, and we sit down and we start telling the story of what we're doing in the cave. And our party member, he's just like, what's going on? Why are we sitting here with a Cyclops? I was like, shh, let me handle this. And I'm speaking to Giant, and I was like, look, I brought you the bodies. Can you repay us by helping us out in this cave? He's like, you know what? You good people, I'm going to help you. And from that day on, we had a Cyclops as part of our party, and his name's Conan.
I like it.
Wow. I was laughing thinking like your character literally just, you know how they say hang up a coyote body to like keep all coyotes off your property? You just have a collection of heads on sticks that you stick up around your campsite at night.
No, it was more of he carried one in his sack at all times. That way, if a group of goblins come up like, oh, you want to challenge us, huh? Hang on. Yeet! There's the last one who decided to challenge us. You want to be in the same boat?
There we go. That better not give Cyrus any ideas.
He's not the barbaric type.
I didn't think so. I just had to make a joke.
Oh, no. That's the fighter who's
There's
also
more
a
something
half
Amarok
elf.
would do.
Yeah, if Amarok thinks that it'd be a good idea, he's... I don't know. I'm still trying to figure him out. Because, in our campaign, like, our Artificer, Amarok, I kind of see him as sort of like very, very young Cyrus, like my character. But yet, there's more into my backstory than just being in like college, whereas Amarok is like just straight out of college. And we've lost you again.
Welcome to the apocalypse of 2020.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
a little stop motion.
Yeah. You actually had that backwards. Marcus is the college student, and Amarok's the blood hunter.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, definitely. I see that Amrock, 100%.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got the names mixed up. But yeah.
Well, a lot of solid consonants. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get you there. But everyone just gives Marcus a hard time in the party.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like
And I'm also amazed by that.
Amazed by it?
You're like the only person in a party that no one has asked anything about their backstory, I think.
Yep. I think it's hilarious.
I'll tell you the greatest
I know
bit.
Amarok had like the...
Go ahead, Charles. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, just because Amarok had like the entire interrogation with the cleric and the paladin, but you're just sitting in the back, just they don't notice me.
Well, I play my character just like I've said, like a lot of I've given hints to how I play the character because I've stated what was it? I want to say Marcus said, "Who would you rather hire?" Like so and so who's like studied and been an expert in the subject, or one who like practices it daily. And I answered the one who talks the biggest game. And so I've hinted that my character is practically like selling himself the entire time. Like, he's charismatic, and I've mentioned that he's charismatic, and I've even mentioned if you seem confident in talking about something, you can distract other people from this subject. So I've openly given pointers of what my character is doing in the campaign, and yet people have not fully caught on yet, and it's great.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say in the real life campaign I played, the backstory we never went into detail at the very beginning, but we've built it up, showing more and more what's happened with our character's background. The greatest thing I did was we had a elf goddess show up out of nowhere, and everyone else starts bowing, and my character was just like, "No, screw you, I'm going on with my day." And they're like, "You idiot, kneel down now!" And I'm like, "Why?" They're like, "You really want to die?" And I'm like, "She's a goddess and she's an elf. Screw her." And they're like, "Get down, get down." But it was afterwards. They're like, "Why'd you do that?" And I've revealed my character's backstory. They're like, he's half elf, but he was never grown in or raised in an elven village. He was like abandoned. And it's like, oh, that's why you resent the goddess. It's like, yeah, if you were abandoned by your people when you were a young age, you would too.
Yeah. And it's the little things like that in your backstory that also just can make the biggest decisions.
Yep.
I think we lost you again. Yeah. I was trying to interpret through the stop motion whether or not he was talking. Because I heard like
I know
his volume went like very, very quiet for a moment, and I was like, oh, it's doing it again.
I need to get Tamara to teach me sign language at this point.
I mean, we're almost actually we're at the very end of our hour anyways. So
Yeah.
we need to be wrapping up anyways, but hate that it's happening like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry this happened, buddy.
I mean, it really hasn't like stopped the conversation much. It's only like
Oh yeah.
here and there made a difference.
Yeah, luckily with it being three of us, so me bailing out randomly has not been too bad.
Well, I mean, you see, you're not the only one. You see, I had mind freeze up at one point, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's just Discord in general tonight.
Yeah.
It is. And besides,
Oh.
if you can't roll with a few punches and you're not flexible enough, it's like the old Marine Corps saying used to go, "Semper Gumby," always flexible.
Like it.
Yeah.
Cortana's bringing up a point. Discord has been under heavy strain, sadly. Yeah.
Yeah.
With everything going on, that's fair. Oh, can't hardly blame them. But anyway, so usually our wrapping up segment is we have the guests tell their favorite D&D story, which we've told a lot this episode, but if there's anyone in particular that you'd like to tell that hasn't got a chance to come up yet, feel free.
Ooh, favorite D&D story. Okay. I guess I'm gonna build on that one part where I yeeted the wizard. I'll go and tell the funniest part about that. So, at the end of that encounter, come to find out this one wizard was inviting several others, and they were like college-age wizards. They were real young, and one of them tried intimidating us. And Vice went up to him and said, "You really want to fight us?" Like, I can't remember exactly what she said, but basically intimidated them. They backed down. They turned into little boys. And as we went to walk by him, one of them went to say something mockingly, and I looked at Mortanis, our DM, and I was like, "I'm going to punch him." He's like, "Okay, roll strength," and I think it was an 18. He said, "Oh yeah, you broke his nose," and he pictured it as when I went to punch, it was the guy was like, "Oh, talking smack. Oh, well, you know what? You ain't so tough." Bow! Ah, my nose! I'm bleeding. And it was the same event where not only did I kick down the door and we dealt with the one guy, and that was the guy I yeeted. Now his friends are not going to mess with us because of the fact they know I'm not afraid to throw a punch even though I'm a bard.
Yes.
Or, there we go.
Well, I guess that's going to be the end of our show for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. And actually, before we do our end segment, why don't you introduce yourself again and tell us about your channel?
Sure. Again, I'm Snipereye2010. I love to stream here on Twitch.tv, playing mostly military-style shooters. I play like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Battlefield 5, Division 2 on occasion. I love playing military-style games more than anything, and I love playing with viewers. And like I said earlier, one thing I'm starting to turn into like the stream motto is the squad that communicates, the squad that dominates, because I love playing with others. And I'm also part of the...
for D&D as well.
Yeah, it is. And I'm also a team member of the Hobo Slayers, and on every 2 weeks on Sunday, which we played this past Sunday, we love to get together and play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that is great. So everybody that's into FPS or just want to see some crazy kills in shooter games, definitely check out Kevin. And yeah, just show them some love. And also, they got a great D&D game that a lot of guests from the previous shows have been on. So yeah, definitely go send them some love. And we'll actually be joined by their DM next week, Mortanis. So we get to see the apex of all this.
Yeah, I can't wait to see y'all interview him, because he's been a great DM. He's always been critical of himself, but honestly, he's been amazing at telling the story.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've a Palace has actually been trying to get me to get him on for a while now, which I was going to. I just wanted to try and do some of the people in our local community first before I started branching out to other people I knew online.
But yeah, it was great. It was great that I got invited into D&D with them, because the real life games with this whole virus situation going on, I haven't been able to play with them in like 2 months. So this has been a nice way of getting to play instead.
And yeah, clearly the party needed someone that had some magic that wasn't burning everything to the ground, so that
yeah.
as well.
Yeah, until we got our druid, I was the unofficial medic.
Guess that'll be it for us tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. See you all next time.
Right.
Bye everyone.